remember a long time ago, when myths and fiction played a part in our lives, what is considered child's tales now were real and dangerous back then. And unfortunately, there are harsh punishments for being named a witch, even if you weren't actually one. The year was 1692. I had heard talk of witch hangings. I passed them off as nonsense, a joke formulated by some stupid girls. This outspokenness didn't suit me too well, however, when those monsters came after my wife. One night, I was just sitting at home, minding myself, when a loud knock emitted from my door. I stood up, angry. I stood up, confused, afraid. It was mighty late. What business could anyone have doing here, I thought to myself. When I opened the door, there stood a group of men, some angry, others worried. A reverend stepped out and said, "John Procter, we need to see your wife." He proceeded to push past me in my house uninvited. "What is this? What nonsense is this?" I shouted at him. "Mr. Procter, your wife has been accused of witchcraft. Mercy Lewis claims to have seen her specter, your wife's specter tormenting her. It would be helpful to us if you didn't get in our way." This had to be some sort of joke, right? These men, these monsters, they had to be completely mad. They were controlled by the devil himself. In my shock, I could barely say a word. "Reverend, she's not a witch. She's my wife. She's not a witch." "You'll find that out soon enough," said the Reverend. "Hope you find out you're a beast," I thought to myself. After some questioning, they dragged my wife out into the night. The Reverend came up to me and said, "Mr. Procter, your wife's trial is in a month. You can defend her if you wish." Then he left the house, leaving my head burned with anger and confusion. "Order! Order!" bellowed the judge. "The accused, Elizabeth Procter, is being tried on the grounds of witchcraft." I tried to defend her. "Your Honor, she's innocent. Leave me, please." Fortunately, they didn't. They weren't convinced. They were also convinced of something else. Well, Abigail Adams, one of the trolls accusing people of witchcraft, pointed her short, stubby finger at me and shouted, "Witch!" And they believed her. In those days, being convicted of witch was not a silly matter as it would be today. Those monsters accusing people, they ought to be hanged. They sent 19 innocent people to the gallows to be hung. One poor man was crushed to death with rocks. Hundreds others sent to rot in prison cells. On August 5th, both me and my wife were thrown in jail. Fortunately for her, she was pregnant, so she would not be hanged. But I had to wait my sentence, death. And while in jail, I wrote letters of Boston clergy proclaiming the unjust methods used to elicit confessions. Fortunately, there was no response, and on August 19th, 1692, I was sent to the gallows to be hung.